kind of sick while recording this video because of sinuses. I hate this weather. By the time of this video being recorded, Hazbin Hotel episode 3 and episode 4 are out. So whatever happens after will not be mentioned in this video because I cannot see the future. Duh. Hazbin Hotel, love it or hate it, it's here to stay. I never talked about Hazbin on this channel. I haven't talked about much on this channel. But I saw season 1 and I thought it was alright. Overhated, but enjoyed most of it. I also thought it was overrated. I realized there was more good than bad though, and I enjoyed a lot of the characters, especially Adam and Vox, those two being my personal favorites. While I think it has its fair share of writing issues, I enjoyed it and that's all that matters to me. Plus, numerous stories have writing issues. Invincible has horrible power scaling and Cecil oftentimes feels inconsistent. Panty and Stalking has numerous episodes of season 2 that feel boring, mundane, and dragged out, but I can't really say much negative things about season 1. South Park is one of my personal favorite shows, but this show will have the lowest of low points you can imagine. Even at the start, I am perfectly fine with Hazbin Hotel having a few writing issues as long as I enjoy it at the end of the day. However, since Hazbin is not only one of the biggest shows on Amazon Prime, if not in the streaming service era, Hazbin Hotel also comes to the internet, and the creator of it, Pop, is a controversial figure. This show gets torn to shreds by critics. I use critics in quotations because these critics are people who think cancel culture still works in 2025. And the Daily Fucking Wire. Most criticisms of this show are given in bad faith and repeated and parroted by other people who don't watch the show. Somebody will say something actually incorrect about the show, and people who don't watch the show but hate it will just like it and retweet it, and then it's all over my For You page. And I will go over these critiques and also some of what these people say about them, because I can actually clear the air. I've been writing since I was a kid. I'm very insecure about my writing and I delete everything, but I have been writing for a long time. I am going to explain some ground rules. First off, I will not mention Pop's other projects. I do not care about Hell of a Boss. I do not care about Zoophobia. I will be moving on from her other projects. 2. I will not mention Pop as a person because her character seems irrelevant to the show overall, in my opinion. She's a Tumblrite theater kid. 3. I will not mention subjective opinions. Saying it's cringe, it's unfunny, and it's boring are all subjective opinions. I will not react to those because I cannot convince somebody that a show or a game is funny. I'm not going to explain a joke to you. I think this video, just to clear the bad air about people online who give horribly uneducated takes about this show, I think they're smart because they have a Twitter account or a YouTube channel where they make 10 videos comparing Smiling Friends and Hazbin Hotel. Let's start off with a heavy topic, because why not? S.A. Hazbin Hotel is an adult show that takes place in hell, so of course references about S.A. and assault are bound to be common. And of course in hell they have assaulters, criminals, pimps, and basically every horrible person you can imagine. Despite the fact that I haven't seen any racist people or Nazis in hell yet, so Pop may need to explain that. But the haters think that Hazbin Hotel fetishizes SA and assault because of Angeldust. This started all at season 1, and it was mostly shut down by the video titled In Defense of Angeldust, which made these people look kinda stupid, which is now hard to make them look stupid. So watch that if you really want the explanation, but some people thought Poison was fetishizing because they have him dancing and smiling and being flirty in his song. First off, people in this line of work like Angeldust are not open and forward about their disdain of the work they're in because they aren't allowed to be usually. Yes, I am aware that in the next episode they make a joke about Sir Pentious getting assaulted, and it's not funny. And it certainly feels weird to make a joke like this after we just had an episode about Angeldust abuse needing to be taken seriously. But again, this ties into a bigger issues with adult shows, and if you're going to fault Hazbin for this, there's a lot of other shows you need to find fault with. If you don't find SA jokes funny in general, then this joke wouldn't have made you laugh, no matter what show it was in. Wouldn't matter if it was Hazbin Hotel, Rick and Morty, American Dad, Smiling Friends. This type of humor wouldn't have made you laugh. And if that's the case, then I don't know why you're letting people know this joke isn't funny. We already knew you weren't going to find it funny. However, if you enjoy shows like Rick and Morty and Family Guy, then you should also be aware that these jokes being in an adult show should be expected And yes, it is an adult show because there are midwits out there who don't believe that.
When your general audience of the show is like below the age of 13, then I do think it's important for you to have good representation.
But Digital Dictator, the name of the YouTube channel you should subscribe to, the difference is Hazbin wants us to take essays seriously compared to Family Guy and Rick and Morty. Okay, first off, if your argument for one of your shows being better than the other shows because they don't take essays seriously, this might be one of the worst arguments of all time. Second off, Rick and Morty literally disproves this and kind of goes against this. Despite the fact that everyone thinks Rick and Morty is one of the greatest shows of the 2010s, I can draw numerous comparisons between Rick and Morty and Hazbin Hotel, but that's a topic for a different time. What I'm talking about is how Rick and Morty also makes light of SA jokes. In Rick and Morty, there was a character named Mr. Jellybean who assaults Morty in the bathroom, and Rick ends up killing this man. This doesn't stop Rick and Morty from making many SA jokes later on in the series and making numerous sex jokes.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. No. Oh, come here. No thanks.
Which, just a reminder, Morty is a minor, by the way. Nobody in Hazbin Hotel is a minor. This isn't to say Rick and Morty is a bad show or Rick and Morty is unfunny. I love Rick and Morty. This is some of the funniest shit I've seen. But I do think it's a bit hypocritical to be like, oh, when Hazbin takes essays seriously, they make joke about it and I can't take it seriously. But you guys won't hold the same hammer up to Rick and Morty. But what about the slapstick gag in season 2? Yes, the scene where Vox, Valentino, and Velvet are laughing at Angeldust's biggest hits, which is him getting hit.
You're obsessed with me.
And they make a joke about Angeldust's abuse. Okay, so when the Joker was beating Red Hood ass with a crowbar and laughing, the DC writers were making fun of Red Hood. Okay, these are the villains. Vox is a rich multi-billionaire cult leader who runs all of Hell's media. Valentino is a pimp, and Velvet is literally a witch in hell who sells love potions. So please use your context clues. Having a character in the story abuse and assault other characters is what a fucking conflict is. And yes, I believe that Valentino would use a yaoi paddle to beat someone with this. It is in his character. This also applies to Vox making Alistair watch him have freaky time in the sneako chair. All I'm saying is, this is in character for them. And what makes these scenes is that they're structured as a joke. Well, a joke can work in two ways. 1, to be funny, or 2, to explain a character and how they act. And as I mentioned before, this fits Vox's character. This fits Valentino's character. Honestly, I was expecting much worse coming from Vox, but I just was. The last example I want to use for this is Angeldust being told to dress better. In one episode, Charlie is trying to redeem Angeldust, and yes, I do not like this episode. This episode is stupid. This episode is dumb. Charlie is so fucking stupid in this episode. Anyway, she tells Angeldust to dress more modestly. This led someone to say how peak unraped person telling someone else to dress better. They deleted this tweet because the entire Hazbin fan base roasted them. Not without getting 50,000 likes though, because again, people who don't watch the show will just parrot what the show haters say. The reason she is telling Angeldust to dress more modestly is because chastity is one of the 7 heavenly virtues, you lobotomized pig. I'm done with this topic. Moving on to the next one. Is Hazbin Hotel racist? It's not. If it was, the Daily Wire wouldn't have made a video talking about it. They would have praised it. But since I don't have the NAACP on speed dial, I had to use my own research to conclude, what the fuck are you niggas talking about? Okay, so this all starts at episode 4 of season 2. But you could argue that this has lasted even longer. The main complaint is that none of Vivzy Pop's black characters, who are voiced by black people and have darker skin, are black enough. While I think it would be totally awesome if Sarah and Emily had curly hair, I think this is one of the biggest nitpick nothing criticisms of all time. Another complaint is that St. Peter was whitewashed. I'm sorry, does this look like a white person to you? This guy is pale as shit. It looks like Vivzy Pop just used the color I'm using to write the script on in Google Docs. But let's say she did whitewash Peter. That is bad. That is an issue and that needs to be fixed. However, you need to remember this is America, a country that has been consistently whitewashing Jesus since its inception. Does this make it right? No. But I am saying if you have an issue with the Hazbin Hotel whitewashing Peter, why won't you say this about literally every other portrayal of Jesus that does not make him a brown person? Because there are more white Jesuses than brown Jesuses, and I think that's weird. The Prince of Egypt, for example, is an amazing movie. It is well told, animated, and produced, and it's one of my favorite movies. However, reminder, this movie is inaccurate because Moses was way older when he went to free the Israelites. Let's tackle the voodoo point, because this was also brought up. Apparently, Alistair uses voodoo in Hazbin Hotel, which is racist, apparently. I want you to find where in the episode Alistair specifically says he's using voodoo. Take your time. Doesn't say that anywhere in the episode. You guys made the assumption that he used voodoo because he was Creole and is now annoyed because other people are calling you out for being blatantly incorrect about that show that you claim to watch. Did you assume Alistair used voodoo because he was Creole and in New Orleans? That's just racist. Also, I hate Alistair's human design, like off topic. This is the whitest looking black man. This is, like, you could tell this was a last second choice, but at least she changed his ways. Now look. Well, no. Look at these symbols. They look similarly to voodoo. No, they don't. Well, if you remove the details, it does, which makes it the same thing. Okay, so if I take a W and I remove 2 lines, does that make it a V? Does that make any sense to you guys? I don't even know why you guys are calling out Hazbin Hotel for... Looking back, that point was really dumb and actually hinders my argument, because my argument is that just because something looks like another thing doesn't make it that thing. But yes, if you do erase a line from the W, that does make it a V. That is what we do in elementary school. That is entirely my fault. I just realized that editing this video. But my point still stands, and my other point still stands about the fact how we are not being completely 100% accurate to the religions we are mentioning. Why would voodoo be treated any differently when voodoo is obviously fake? Misrepresenting voodoo, right? Like, you guys do know Adam doesn't actually play the guitar in the Bible, right? You do know this story takes aspects of many different religions. I don't know why you guys thought voodoo would be safe, because, you know, it wouldn't be. Continuing on Alistair, apparently it is racist for Vox and Rosie to own Alistair because Alistair is a black man. I'm not going to go too much in this topic because another YouTuber made a video talking about this. But first off, you guys were complaining that Alistair wasn't even black and she made him black, which actually obviously didn't have an impact on the story. Second off, we don't even know what race Rosie is yet. She could have been African in a past life for all we know. She could have even died for all we know. Third off, Alistair literally owns Husk. Like, get out of here with that take. And it's actually funny because the YouTuber I brought up earlier, the C, made a video talking about that, and he is actually Creole. Only for a bunch of people to get mad at the Creole person for sharing his opinion about a Creole religion. People on Twitter just get mad. This is obviously just another case of people grandstanding and virtue signaling and being performative against the show. Then we have Nifty's song being racist. So apparently Nifty's song is racist because anime didn't exist until after she died. So you mean to tell me that hell has a porn industry and a television and a media industry, but you couldn't imagine a cartoon or an anime or a manga existing in this world? Okay. Well, Nifty is a stereotype. She's an infantilized, manga-loving, cleaning Japanese woman. First off, you're reading too deeply into this. Pretty sure if they wanted Nifty to be a racist stereotype, they just make her Ling Ling from Drawn Together. Furthermore, Nifty makes constant sex jokes. The fuck you mean infantilized? Now, do I wish she was better written and had more songs? Hell yes, I fucking love Nifty and I think she would be a better character that way. But I'm not gonna call her character a racist stereotype because of this one thing that happened. Hazbin Hotel is sexist? Yeah, apparently the show that features a predominant lesbian couple with the female main character is sexist, because that makes sense. The apparent reason for this is that the women aren't getting enough attention. While I do agree that Cherry Bomb and Nifty need to have more things going on, I also feel like that's the point of them. Cherry Bomb's character is more of an accessory to Angeldust to get him to do worse things. And Nifty is more of a gag character, even though I don't like gag characters. They're bound to stay. Velvet feels rather fleshed out though. Hell, even more so than Valentino at times. I also think this is a big issue that is prevalent in a lot of television shows in general, especially shonen, where male characters get to do all the cool shit. I mean, look at Naruto and Bleach. If you are not in Team 7, a couple of Katsuki members, and maybe a few other side characters, you are basically side dishes in Naruto. You do not matter. Name one cool thing Tintin does. I'll wait. Then Naruto is revealed to be the reincarnation of some god. I don't know, that was a stupid plot point, but this video is not about Naruto. I do think it is very disingenuous to call a story with a woman main character, a lesbian relationship, numerous women characters, Sarah, Emily, and Lute, to be sexist. I think it's not just disingenuous, I think it's flat out wrong and misleading. And also, before we continue with this, people are saying how the women characters don't have backstories yet. First off, Lilith and Vaggie technically have backstories. The whole story exists because of Lilith. First off. Second off, Vaggie's backstory is literally shown. And another point, you guys have to learn how to be patient. Every time I go on here, the main complaints I see for Hazbin is, what, this character's not doing anything yet. Yeah, I expect the character to not do anything 60 seconds into a show. That's not their time. It's not their time to shine. You have to be patient. Anyway, what else can I say about this that a YouTuber or a Twitter account hasn't already made a video on, but better? I guess like and subscribe to my channel so Hazbin Hotel can stop being leaked by Amazon. I swear they're doing it on purpose. I also just saw this tweet of a Hazbin Hotel hater insulting Vivzy Pop because of what she was wearing to an award show. Yeah, real mature behavior. You made a show I don't like, so I'm gonna insult how you look. This can't be serious. I'll probably make a part 2 if more controversies come out. This show has numerous issues with its writing, the angelic weapons, Vaggie's character doing nothing. Charlie's idea was already contradictory. Charlie's character, a lot of issues with the writing, so I don't know why you need to just make up a bunch of moral reasons as to why you don't like the script, a bunch of moral fagging around to try and prove how this show is bad when there are actual evidence of this show's writing not being good. I still like the show, I enjoy it, but there is flaws with this writing, and you don't need to find some holier than thou reason as to why you don't like it.